Ladies and gentlemen, we would appreciate it at this time if you could please stand and join the senior choir members in singing our national anthem. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Associate Principal, Mr. Stephen Lowe.
Students, please be seated. Good evening and welcome to the graduation of the 51st graduating class of Shawnee Mission East High School. Another special thank you to the choir for a beautiful rendition of our national anthem. The Shawnee Mission East class of 2009 has distinguished itself with scholarship offerings totaling over $16.1 million. This tremendous accomplishment is a result of these students' academic abilities, work ethic, determination, and perseverance. Please join with me in a round of applause for this truly outstanding achievement. At this time, it gives me a great deal of pleasure in introducing Heather Royce, Associate Principal, who will be introducing our distinguished guests.
It's my pleasure to introduce the distinguished guests up on stage. Mrs. Donna Bisfield, School Board President. Yes. Dr. Craig Denny, West Area School Board Representative. Mrs. Patty Mack, Northwest Area School Board Representative. Mr. Larry Wynn, At-Large School Board Representative. Mr. Bill Frick, Associate Superintendent. Dr. Jean Johnson, Superintendent of Shawnee Mission Schools. Mrs. Susie Ostmeyer, Mission Valley Principal. Mrs. Carla Allen, Indian Hills Principal. And now I would like to introduce our senior class president, Jessie Light. She will be giving the welcome address.
Thank you, Mrs. Royce. I would like to welcome you all to this ceremony. Welcome parents, grandparents, faculty, and most of all, welcome to the class of 2009. We made it. After 13 years, or 128 months, or over 2,300 days in the Shawnee Mission School District, we are less than 90 minutes from the end of it all. Looking back, it's been a great ride. When the class of 2009 entered kindergarten in 1996, the economy was strong. The Macarena topped the Billboard charts. ER was the most watched television series, and leggings worn as pants were the top fashion choice of us kindergarten girls. 9 years later, we found ourselves walking through the doors of the Spirit Circle, rocking out to Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl, or chatting about our favorite performance on American Idol, oblivious to what the next 4 years would hold. Now in 2009, we find ourselves still dancing to the Macarena, and we still greatly anticipate our favorite contestant's next performance on American Idol. And strangely, some of us still wear leggings as pants. Sadly, the economy isn't as strong as it was 13 years ago. ER just went off the air. Holla Back Girl has become one of the most overplayed songs on the radio, and we can no longer walk through the doors of the Spirit Circle. Things change, things stay the same. This is my hope for the class of 2009. I hope that in the future, we will be the ones to ensure the safeguard of our economy. I hope that we will take the initiative to bring peace to war-torn Uganda and Taliban-scarred Afghanistan. I know that our class holds bright minds with incredible potential, and we can only hope that it is applied. We have the power to change things around us. In fact, it is impossible for us not to change the world. This class may not hold the President of the United States, or a NASA astronaut, or a Wall Street executive, but in my peers, I see fourth grade teachers who will encourage a love of learning in their students. I see architects who will design state-of-the-art green buildings, and I see musicians who will continue to inspire us with their music. This is the change I hope for, a positive change, a growth. Although I know that this will not always be the case. In the words of songwriter Brett Dennen, sometimes your path is marked in the sky. Sometimes you're forced to fit in between the lines. A lot of members in our class will stumble before succeeding, and may be forced to fit in between the lines rather than forge their own path. My hope is that we can look back and be content with the lives that we have lived. I started this year as a very frustrated senior. The breezy minute-and-a-half walk from the 3rd floor to the senior parking lot turned into what seems like a 10-minute trek from the front doors. Open lunch was a challenge, as was the tunnel, which flooded on rainy days, and the sidewalk to the tunnel, which turned into an icy slope in December. Besides construction, we had to adapt to new block scheduling and the concept of seminar. And of course, the class of 2009 was introduced to our 3rd principal in 4 years, Dr. Krawitz. All of these changes were overwhelming. However, construction made this year more interesting, and there were some perks to things like temporary walls, when Shawnee Mission East was lucky enough to watch an incredible mural come to life, courtesy of a talented senior artist. Block scheduling turned out to be a blessing in disguise for our busy schedules and gave us all just enough time to procrastinate without serious repercussions. And most importantly, Dr. Krawitz provided the class of 2009 with an infinite number of opportunities to excel this year. I'm truly grateful for the flexibility and support that was given to my peers and me on behalf of the administrators. One thing about Shawnee Mission East that I will truly miss more than anything is the incredible encouragement my class has been given by everyone at East. Change is good, most of the time. On the other hand, I want some things to stay the same. I want to come back for Lancer Day and still see 3/4 of the senior class piled onto a 12-foot by 6-foot float. I want to stand on my desk one more time and scream a cheer before a math test, or walk into the cafeteria and see that they're serving my favorite, potato smiles. I know that this isn't realistic, but it's the small things that we hold on to, and each of us have things that we will truly miss. So maybe in 10 or 15 years, we'll all be incredibly tired of I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, or we'll be wondering what was ever entertaining about American Idol. And I'm sure people will still be thinking that wearing leggings as pants is fashionable. But beyond all of the trends, we will still have high school memories. They may be patchy or unpleasant to remember in some cases, but no matter what, at some time or another, we will reflect on our time at Shawnee Mission East. Last week, I received letters which I collected from friends and family in May 2006, my freshman year. Most letters from my peers said things like, I hope we're still good friends, or we've had some really good times. For the most part, these good friendships had faded into acquaintances, and the really great times had become little more than a Facebook photo album from 3 years ago. However, some friendships have proven to be the lifelong kind, and some memories will never be forgotten. It has truly been the people who have made this experience worthwhile. In the words of Glenda from the musical Wicked, people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow, if we let them, and we help them in return. There is no better way to capture the companionship we have all had as a result of our experiences at SME. Although we may not keep in touch with everyone, or we may not remember everything about homecoming sophomore year, or our winning senior float, or even this speech, Shawnee Mission East will always hold a place in our hearts. We have been blessed more than we know to attend a school like East, where we've been able to achieve incredible things, academically, athletically, and in extracurriculars. But what we take away from this school are the valuable relationships we have formed with one another. Thank you.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jean Johnson, and School Board President, Mrs. Donna Bisfield, who will present the top 10 honors.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Shawnee Mission East top 10, and I will introduce the students in reverse alpha order. Catherine Elizabeth Soxie. Alexandria Marie Norton. Bernadette Ann Myers. Melissa Lynn McKittrick. Elizabeth Gould Jandal. Young Howe. Sarah Allison Holmes. Gail Marie Harrington. Edie Chow. Andrea Grace Brown. Congratulations to the Shawnee Mission East Top 10.
And now it is my honor to introduce Kevin and Joan Winters, who will present the Page Winners Awards.
Thank you, Cole. Congratulations to the Lancer class of 2009 for all you have done to reach this very special evening, an evening which, among many things, celebrates your past academic success at Shawnee Mission East. Along with marking the success of this accomplishment, tonight also celebrates the future potential for the class of 2009. And the endless possibilities each and every one of you have as you pursue your own very special dream. As many of you may know, on August 27, 2006, we lost our daughter, Paige, at that time a junior at Shawnee Mission East. Paige lived her life with passion. She had the most beautiful smile, with a sparkling spirit and a contagious giggle. Paige loved her friends. She always had time to spend time with a friend who needed a shoulder to cry on, or just to be there to listen, to chauffeur her friends around or help them pick out that perfect outfit for school. Paige loved school and was sad when summer came because she would miss seeing everyone each and every day. After the airplane accident, Joan, Jeff, and I decided to start the Paige Winters Foundation to honor her memory by helping students of Shawnee Mission East fulfill their dreams, their ambitions, and their aspirations, to carry forward her passion for life and for learning. The purpose of the Paige Winters Inspirational Award is to give 2 students a college scholarship that recognizes them for who they are. This person is a role model, friendly and helpful, hardworking and dedicated, makes a difference in others' lives, inspires their peers, and gives to others with total love and joy. This is what Paige was to us, and what better way to honor her than to recognize students for being an inspiration. The administration of Shawnee Mission East, led by Heather Royce, along with a team of very giving teachers, put in many extra hours helping to establish the criteria and the actual selection of the scholarship award recipients. These teachers and administrators are just incredible role models for our kids, and we are very grateful and appreciative to them for the extra time and energy and effort that they have given in setting this scholarship up and the selecting of this year's recipients. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for the past 2.5 years that you have been there for Joan, Jeff, and I. The Paige Winters Inspirational Award and Scholarship will be granted each year to 2 students who have shown a never-ending dedication to Shawnee Mission East, 2 students who have consistently supported their peers with encouragement, commitment, and through their own determination have inspired a self of confidence, caring, and determination in others. In short, 2 students that have made a difference in the lives of their classmate, their faculty, and the Shawnee Mission East community. Because of the outstanding class of 2009, Joan and I authorized the selection committee to select 4 recipients for this evening. Tonight, we are honored to award the following individuals the 2009 Paige Winters Inspirational Award and Scholarship. As I read your name, would you please come forward? Anna Leek. Jesse Light. Ali Marquez. Brian Simpson. Let me tell you a little bit about each of our recipients. Our first recipient is Anna Leek. Is such a positive, upbeat young lady. She is fantastic with anyone who needs a smile or a little extra help. One of her teachers had this to say about her: she is patient and kind towards all students, especially those who might be forgotten in such a large school environment. Our second recipient is Jessie Light. Jessie is passionate about helping others. She has been a role model in her efforts to raise awareness for those in need. One teacher described her this way: there is no student who I hold in higher regard for integrity and compassion than Jessie Light. Our third recipient is Ali Marquez. Ali is a talented athlete with a great heart. She has all the attributes that Paige possessed. She has a smile for everyone she meets and goes out of her way to attend to others. As one teacher commented, "I only hope my children turn out half as nice as Ali is." And our final recipient is Brian Simpson. Brian is involved in a variety of activities and sports, always demonstrating integrity and a strong work ethic. It is his efforts on behalf of students in need, however, that truly make him stand out. One of his teachers referred to him as a difference maker. Anna, Jesse, Allie, and Brian, Joan and I would like to present each of you with a Waterford clock. Each clock reads Paige Winter's Inspirational Award 2009, and you each will receive a $4,000 scholarship to be used at a college of your choice. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Winters. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the student body president, Mr. Tommy Gray.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney. Good evening, everyone. Although some may find cliche graduation speeches ultimately meaningless, the thoughts that I say throughout this speech are intended to translate to something personal for each of us. What I ask is that you take this time to reflect with me on the memories and the feelings they have created, because these thoughts will only matter if you allow them an opportunity to define themselves within you. So whether you are a student or a parent or a friend or a family member of someone graduating this evening, we can all take the confidence that we have received through our experiences as a building block to develop a road to success. Let us reflect this evening on what these past 4 years have meant to each of us. The personal growth within each and all of us has been incredible. Between freshman and senior year, we encountered a definite transition from awkwardness and irresponsibility to the maturity that comes with adulthood. It has been the time in which we could explore the opportunities East had to offer us. Some of us indulged ourselves in music classes. Some of us explored our imaginations with art. Some succeeded as athletes, and some focused on leadership activities and volunteer programs. Each one of us involved ourselves in activities that we could grow in. Our experiences at East have made an impact on all of our lives, shaping our identity, forcing us to think about who we want to become, creating the foundation necessary for the next phase of our life. While others may look back and wish they had done more, gotten more involved, tried out for that sport we regretfully didn't go for, or were reluctant to join a club. All these things we can view as an avenue of strength for future endeavors. Let's no longer say, I wish I had, but let's instead seek new courage to reach out for hidden opportunities. Each opportunity will enlighten us with the newfound power of knowledge and experience. Who we become and what we do next will be entirely up to each of us. Let us never fear the unknown or the new, rather embrace change as a positive symbol of growth. We may have even had some struggles to bond or unify as a class. There were obstacles for us to overcome: the new block schedule, the changes in administrative leadership between 3 principals in the last 4 years, the annoyance of the construction. Given these circumstances, however, we managed to find our way through and adjust, adapting to the situation. In some respects, maybe our individualism was exactly what we needed, because it gave each of us the hidden opportunity to become specialized in specific programs that are important to the success of our school as a whole. Even more important, it seems that each of our small groups of close friends has become closer. This is most realistic of the real world, and so we've actually prepared ourselves for how life is really going to be. In February, we were challenged to unite and defend opposing protesters. Our school was targeted, and for many of us, this translated into an attack on our own identities. Shawnee Mission East whether we acknowledge it or not, is a part of who we are. The unity that not only our senior class, but also the entire school body developed brought us together as a whole. The solidarity, empowerment, and positivity we were able to create from a negative situation clearly reveals to us that we are strong individuals who are capable of making a change for the better. I hope that when we leave the stadium tonight, we remember the feeling that day gave us. Remember the pride we had for our school and the respect we had for ourselves. Take pride in who we are and live life to the fullest. Go after our dreams, our passions in life, and journey on our way. If there's one thing I hope we learn from each other, it's that drama in high school, like drama in life, will never get us anywhere. Let's remember to always value our relationships with those people we cherish the most. Our parents, our brothers and sisters, our close friends, and others who have influenced us. These people are truly the ones that have taught us the most about life. Not the textbooks we studied, not the sports we played, or the clubs we participated in, but the experiences and the interactions we had with the people that matter the most to us. Our parents and guardians have sacrificed so much for us. It's almost impossible to believe that these 4 years have come and gone and that they are now complete. So as we reflect on them, let's remember the emotions and the feelings each of our experiences gave us. Let's acknowledge who we are and embrace the next phase of our life. We should take the memories of Shawnee Mission East with us because they will help us with difficult decisions ahead. Congratulations to you this evening, and best wishes for your future success. Thank you.
And now it is with great pleasure that I introduce our principal, Dr. Carl Krautz.
Thank you, Mr. Ogden. Before presenting the diplomas to the class of 2009, I'd like to share some parting thoughts with the class of 2009. I'm a little old. Many of the words that Jesse and Tommy have shared with you tonight, I hope that you will take to heart. The year has gone by fast, and yes, you have had a lot of challenges. And all of those challenges, despite all of the concerns, you've persevered. As you enter into the next phase of your life, realize that the obstacles and challenges facing you are going to be far greater than the ones that you've left behind. You are entering into a society that for the most part right now is struggling and has challenges all of its own, especially around the fundamental principle of what our country is all about, our freedom. Our current economic crisis has shown us just how vulnerable we are if we fail to preserve and cherish the ethical tenets of the Constitution. In some regards, our country has lost some of its focus. Somehow it needs to stop. And you, members of the class of 2009, can do something about it, if you choose. What we need is leadership, not complacency. We need people willing to stand up to meet our challenges with conviction and commitment. Realize the essence of leadership itself is never determined by your GPA, your grades, your test scores, your class rank, or even your IQ, but rather by your abilities, not taught in any class or found on any exam. The kind of people and leaders we need in the future understand the wealth and the power of what integrity is all about. They understand what it means to work hard. They are driven to make the world around them better, and they have the courage to speak out against the ills in our society which erode and attack that very freedom. We can no longer go out and talk about making a difference. We must do something about it every day. We must preserve our freedom by individually taking our responsibility. We cannot allow our country, which has the greatest wealth in dollars, in knowledge, and opportunity, also have the greatest amount of crime and child abuse than any developed country on earth. In some ways, we haven't quite figured out what it is that we always seem to talk about. If we don't do what we know we need to do to preserve what we have, we will only have ourselves to blame in the end. Take care of one of the things that was mentioned by Tommy is the need to take care and thank your parents. You need to do that. You need to take care of your families and your future families. And you also need to take care of our planet. Be willing to volunteer your time, but do so not asking or wanting something subliminally in return. Remember, volunteerism strengthens your heart, not your position. Take initiative by being proactive than reactive. Own up to mistakes, but only become larger but only realize that they'll become larger and out of control if you try to manipulate them or you self-deceive yourself. Protect our freedom by obeying the laws of our land. More importantly, have common sense. And remember, there's no such thing as a free ride. Take with you the memories of your 4 great years, and don't forget to come back for your class reunions. Take time tonight to thank your parents and your guardians, and even more, take time to thank your teachers. This is a phenomenal staff, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored to have been their leader this past year and to be your principal. Finally, take the heed of the words that I often use at the end of every commencement address in the last 30 years. They come from a well-known expert in the field of leadership, Stephen Covey. And the words are simple. Seniors, the best way for you to predict your future is to go out and create it. Best of luck to each of you. You're great people, and it's been an honor to be your principal. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce Dr. Gene Johnson and Board President Donna Bisfield.
It is my pleasure to certify that the students who will be receiving their diplomas this evening have completed the course of studies as prescribed by the Kansas State Department of Education and the Shawnee Mission Board of Education. It is, therefore, the recommendation of the staff and administration of Shawnee Mission East High School that they be awarded their diplomas.
On behalf of the Shawnee Mission Board of Education, I accept the recommendation of the staff and administration of Shawnee Mission East High School and ask that the members of the class of 2009 present themselves for the presentation of diplomas.
Emery Agbas. Andrew Michael Allen. Charles Albert Allen. Laura Elizabeth Allen. Megan Elizabeth Alley. Joshua Mark Allmeyer. Bradford Paul Anderson. Evan Thomas Anderson. Hannah Billet Anderson. Paige Campbell Anderson. Paige Elizabeth Anderson. Catherine Fortis Andresen. Corey Anthony Arnold. Ryan Hunter Ashley. Emily Catherine Atchison. Nora Elena Avalos. David Lee Baldwin. Kristen Michelle Barker. Sam Staley Barker. Joshua Ryan Barlow. Nicholas Sebastian Barnes. Catherine Marissa Barrera. Catherine Terry Bartow. David Alden Batson. Mary Frances Bauer. Elizabeth Catherine Beck. Nicholas Joseph Benge. Megan Marie Benson. Samantha Alexandra Benson. Melissa Rose Benton. Anne Elizabeth Berry. Christina Michael Banyan. Rachel Marie Birkenmeyer. Barbara Madison Blankenship. Parker Allen Blomeyer. Sam Gears Bolanovich. Michelle Amanda Bonebright Carter. John Mather Bhutan. Stephen Michael Bourne. Lauren Elizabeth Bowles. Emily Ann Brandmeier. Michelle Rebecca Breslavsky. Alexandria Kathleen Brewer. Alexandra Catherine Brown. Andrea Grace Brown. Laura Leona Brown. Desiree Nicole Bruce. Jack Roland Bruger. Ian Andrew Bryant. Peter James Brzezowski. Alexander Watson Bublitz. Kyle Stephen Buck. Paige Addison Kennedy. Chip Schlesinger Cantor. Edie Chow. Kelsey Ann Carruthers. Legna Ghislaine Cedillo. Stephanie Lynn Chad. Max Chow. Olivia Weijun Chow. Linda Catherine Chestnut. David Winfield Clark. Reed Montgomery Cody. Samuel Thomas Cohen. Trent Michael Coffin. Colin Alexander Coit. Alexander Egan Collingwood. Marianne Elizabeth Collins. Catherine Layton Collison. Emma Ryan Collins. Devin Deeds Conley.
Alexandra Ann Connor. Johanna Christine Cook. Matthew Michael Cooney. Paige Gabrielle Cornwell. Hannah Eileen Cosgrove. Kirsty Lene Coulter. Daniel Christopher Cox. Thomas Michael Cray, Jr. Andrew Lane Curtis. Georgia Lynn Dadswell. Sydney Elise Danner. Albert Curran Darling. Laura Jean Darling. Christina Marie Davis. Vimla Julia Deal. David Griffith DeGoler. John Anthony Delgado. Eric James Dickinson. Ryan Joseph Denier. Benjamin Brayley Donovan. Logan Anthony Dover. Savannah Reed Stewie Doobie. Hannah Taylor Eggleston. Marielle Eichholz. Aiden Sean Ielts. Alexandra Carlin Ellerbeck. Jordan Taylor Elliott. Eric Thomas Elwood. Derek James Englehart. Rachel Ann English. Eric Roby Ernst. Ashley Jean Elizabeth Esri. Amy Elizabeth Esselman. History Rain Estelle Varner. Corey Andrew Everidge. Erica L. Iman. Anna Lucille Farber. Ryan Anthony Fager. Claire Ducharme Fallone. Joe Matthew Ferguson. Ferguson. Alexa Marie Fessler. Hannah Lee Fink. Blake William Ferner. William Patrick Fisher. Alicia Jean Fisher. Miranda Nicole Fletcher. Blair Elizabeth Fletcher. Zachary Thomas Foley. Christopher Sam Fotopoulos. Cameron Anna All Franklin. Daniel Gregory Franklin. James William Frederick. Whitney Fry. Ellen Riley Frizzell. David James Gaddard. Logan Pace Gage. Layden Eddie Galicia. Lonsale Eileen Gallagher. Hannah Renee Gassaway. Benjamin Luker Glow. Holly Marie Glenn. Shelby Lynn Goenauer. Abigail Phyllis Gohausen. Lindsay Dale Goins. JC Christine Gorman. Owen James Gray. Thomas Paul Gray Jr. Kelly Nichols Greenfield.
Daniel Matthias Greitz. Paxton Arthur Gross. Lauren Nicole Grunbaum. Emra Gotepi. Gregory Keith Guthrie. Lydia Gempe. Carolyn Grace Hayflick. Anne Elizabeth Haynes. Catherine Halberstadt. Chelsea Elise Hall. Matthew Walton Hallquist. Jordan Halsey. Jacob Daniel Hamilton. Jessica Catherine Hammond. Granville Rudolph Pear. Zachary Joseph Harold. Gail Marie Harrington. Taylor Catherine Harris. Shane Andrew Harris. John Clark Hart. Nicholas Ryan Hasselwander. Christopher Jordan Hasselwander. Grace Taylor Hahn. Colin Wyatt Hayes. Nicole Ann Hemmingson. Dana Marie Hemmingson. Kara Suzanne Henniger. Kelsey Ann Henry. Mark Anthony Height. Matthew Joseph Hill. Stephanie Marie Hilsebeck. Reed Christopher Hentz. David Cates Hobart. Amanda Diane Hodges. Natalie Rose Hoffmeister. Erica Leanne Hollingsworth. Sarah Allison Holmes. Jordan Alexander Holsinger. Todd Duncan Hoover. Catherine Rose Harrell. Alexander David Horvath. Young Howe. Jennifer Lynn Howard. Scott Frederick Humphrey. Ian Burton Hewitt. Alec Christopher Hines. Mary Elizabeth Jackson. Mike Adam Yakish. Reagan Elizabeth Jameson. Elizabeth Gould Jandal. Mitchell Thomas Jennings. Jennifer Jitt. Ann Cheryl Johnson. Daniel A. Johnson. Kendall Justin Johnston. Scott Michael Johnson. Michael Dwayne Johnson II. Anna Christine Johnston. Kelsey Ann Jolitz. Andrea Grace Jones. Stuart Christian Jones. Alyssa Ann Johnson. Maria Audrey Juarez. Dora Beata Capros. Camille Sophia Caro. Laura Catherine Kaufman. Aaron Frederick Kaufman. Daniel Arthur Kelly.
Hillary Ann Keel. Michael Sock Kim. Robert Hunter Kimmel. Joshua Taylor Kinney. Jarrett William Kirk. Nathan Freeman Klein. Logan Fowler Klein. Spencer Nipper. Dina Anna Castro. Andrew Don Kokel. Whitney Ann Kraft. Justin Alexander Kravina. Paige Elizabeth Kuklinski. John Jeffrey Kurtz. Matthew David Lavoie. Rebecca Prescott Lamberson. Veronica Christine Lang. Andrew Ryan Leprade. Timothy Rogers Larrabee. Jennifer Lee Latshaw. Sarah Helen Lepichon. Allison Mackenzie Leach. Paige Irene Ledbetter. Anna Souder Leak. Gina Michelle Lagrody. Elliot James Lairbaum. Jessie Ann Light. Joan Diane Lindsay. Ariel May Litwer. Heisen Shinjing Lo. Arius DeMarco Lockhart. Charles Woodson Long. Pedro Andres Lopez. Sarah Elizabeth Luby. Chase Chamberlain Lucas. Charles Robert Luddington. Andrew Hunter Likens. Joseph Hodgson Lynch. Jane Catherine Mahoney. Amanda Lee Marland. Allison Lindsay Marquez. Joseph Charles Marks. Joshua Alexander Mason. Tara Jean Mason. DeWitt Patrick Mayfield. Stephen Edward Mazzoni. Anne Elizabeth McBee. Alyssa Ryan McCarthy. Elizabeth Michelle McDonald. Griffin August McDonald. Landon R. McDonald. Taisha LaShawn McFarland. Mason James McGinley. Carolyn Hoover McGuire. Melissa Lynn McKittrick. Allison Maher Manson. Jennifer Ellen Mira. Brittany Nicole Medina. Ryan James Middleton. Andrew Scott Michelson Richardson. Andrew Lane Mitchell. Matthew Scott Modritzer. Teresa Megan Moran. Joseph Browning Moriarty. Grant Mackey Morris. Emily Marguerite Mullet. Amelia Ann Murphy. Ariel Jayosundar Mutiala. Morgan Allison Myers. Colin Ray Myers. Bernadette Ann Myers. Adika Nazir. Justin
Tucker Claire Nelson. Stephen Evans Nichols. Alexandria Marie Norton. Darcy Lee O'Brien. Christina Maeve O'Connor. Lucy Colleen O'Connor. Alex James Olson. Chelsea Elizabeth Olson. Maureen Elizabeth Orth. Tyler Jonathan Owens. Brian Richard Parman. Natalie Zoe Parsons. Sarah Elizabeth Pavlou. Michael Francis Payne. Michael Joseph Perez. Tanya Brooke Pesh. Leah Collins Pickett. John Paul Pistorius. Ariana Elizabeth Plummer. Christina Elizabeth Poindexter. Christopher J. Poplowski. Sana Carlin Postma. Joseph Eric Prinz. Thomas Hunter Puckett III. Samantha Maura Pugh. Schwinn Quinn. Noah Kiyuk. Jonathan Charles Reen. Jamie Allison Reese. Taylor Brooke Rent. Kristen Ashley Reynolds. Sean Matthew Reynolds. Dina Jade Rice. Perry Kurt Rickey. Susanna Carol Riley. David Frank Riot. Laura Ann Robertson. Sean Matthew Robinson. Virginia Marie Roche. Dylan Nicholas Rogers. Christopher Robert Rowland. Sydney R. Ross. Tyler Brian Rosti. Ainsley Marie Rowe. John Hamilton Rowley. Brandon Matthew Royal. Anthony P. Rupai. Catherine Elizabeth Rush. Catherine Elizabeth Soxie. Nora Bikey Sally. Amanda Lynn Sams. Miles Reed Sanderson. Catherine Lane Schaefer. Margaret Ann Schmidt. Ryan Patrick Schmidt. Daniel Paul Shira. Ann M. Scroggum. Lindsay Catherine Seck. Anna Elizabeth Seitz, Jacob Matthew Selby, Jack Edward Seward, Ray Ann Sewell, Margaret Frances Shackelford, Amanda Diana Shapiro, Ashish Sharma, Spencer Thomas Sherrard, Olivia K. Seek, Dylan Augustus Simmons, Brian John Simpson, Kyle Andrew Sitomer, Alex Robert Sixta, Patrick Samuel Sixta, Heidi Marie Screwcrude, John Culling Slaughter,
Gordon Barrickman Smith, Christian Smith, Patricia Sarah Smith, David Michael Smythe, Matthew Robert Snively, William Morgan Snyder, Jeffrey Scott Soptic, Sarah Jane Specker, David Lawrence Spiro, Brittany Marie Spickler, Tanapat Siswat, Graham Tyler Stanford, James Hall Stanton, Emmett Wade Starkey, Abby Rose Steckman, Austin Mitchell Steele, Jonathan Albro Stepp, Marissa Kaylee Stevens, Mallory Frank Stevenson, Casey James Stewart, Jonathan Eric Stiefel, Michael Allen Sullivan, Hillary Ann Surface, Clark Michael Svet, Andrew McKay Sweeney, Daniel Edward Sweeney, Stephanie Lee Tharp, Jesse Bryn Evan Thomas, Anthony Dean Thompson, Calvin Woodard Tidwell, Nicholas Andrew Tolbert, Patricia Helen Townsend, Alexander Beckman Tracy, Andrea Darlene Tudhope, Ryan James Tushoff, Taylor Lee Twibell, Janae Marie Vickers, Devin Lee Vincent, Audrey Allison Shireen Wadood, Kyle Aaron Waisner, Clark Alexander Walden, Jacob D. Walters, Edward Mark Wada Jr., Madeline Marie Wiest, Marcus Ray Webb. Andrea Megan Weber. Evan L. Weibel. Curtis Lindemann Wells. Abby Lauren Weltner. Harrison Douglas Wendlandt. Erica Marie Wheeler. Danielle Elizabeth White. Lakeisha Margaret Wiedenkeller. Timothy Robert Wolf. Jack Everett Woltering. Ross Lindsay Wooten. Daniel S. Widener. Emma Corinne Yaffe. Cameron Thaler Young. Jonathan Oliver Zeiger. Chad Joseph Zeller. Patrick Richard Ziller. And Catherine Emily Zimmerman.
At this time, will the class of 2009 rise, please? You can now move your tassels from the right side to the left side. And for our last time, please join us in the singing of our alma mater, led by our chorale. Thank you.